Nothing was cooked. The only thing that ever got cooked was the eggplant, and that's because the sun was strong in Southern California, and we would put a little olive oil and set it on top of like the car on the pan and let the sun fry it.
How about that?
Because he wasn't even really into dehydration. But what was interesting about the experience was, so when I came back to the Midwest, which is, meat and potatoes, cheese, we're very dairy down, and a bunch of processed. I still was in that mindset, and so I go and I buy me some oranges because they had just a counter full of oranges, and it took, in California I could get a whole glass of orange juice with 2 oranges. In Chicago I was up to 8.
Whoa.
And I still didn't have the amount, and he had explained that just in the transportation you're losing nutrients. You're losing like the bulk of what you need to be healthy. Absolutely. And so I believed it, but I didn't believe it. I got home and I said, wow, look at this food. Amazing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, local food is essential.
It is.
Local food, the lack of local food is a national security threat. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know the internet was invented to facilitate communication between research university and the military establishment.
Okay.
And they said, well, if you have a research institution in California and a military base in New York, and if they wiped out Chicago, you would lose all the lines, all the dedicated lines.
That's true.
So they decided to create a communication system that would break up a message into packets and split that packet up into 1,000 pieces and send it to all kind of different computers all over the world and reassemble it back in one spot, so you wouldn't be dependent upon a dedicated line.
Okay.
Well, we have a similar situation with our food situation. Most of the 96% of the food is probably grown in Joaquin Valley, California, and it's got to travel to the rest of the country. So if we lose our oil, or we have a war and we can't afford to use the oil for transporting food, then we all starve. So that's
You mean to tell me that much food comes out of California? What about Florida? We have a couple of other hot spots.
Florida and Michigan. Those California, Florida, Michigan, and Texas.
Those are our biggest food suppliers.
States, yes.
Wow.
But a lot of our food come right out of California, and
we're in trouble.
We are in serious trouble, but no one benefits by speaking to the gloom and doom.
Right.
And the rest of the people are just not
they don't
aware.
Care.
They don't know. And
they're just walking around.
And our black people, we're on survival 101.
What is that?
That means we're worried about where we're going to get our next meal in the day-to-day. We're not worried about the big picture.
Why is that, though, Kamal?
Well,
I mean,
let me tell you about America.
Okay.
Racism and discrimination, the major component is economic exploitation.
Okay.
White people love us. And unfortunately, black people love white people even more.
Okay.
But our founding fathers, Jefferson and the rest of the people, decided to dehumanize us to justify the evil treatment of us, to keep us making money as slaves.
Okay.
And this formula works for demonizing the Middle East countries and to justify shock and awe and the mistreatment of the people who really own the oil.
Okay.
So our whole military policy and everything, foreign policy, is based on us taking cheap oil. And the reason why we went after Saddam Hussein is because he had made a decision to take his country off of the dollar. And this is the final economic bubble that is scheduled to burst sometime soon, when the dollar no longer is the reserve currency.
Because the dollar is deep. It doesn't really... we're so in debt to China, and it means so little now. Most of us don't know that, but that was part of the whole discussion with unemployment.
Right.
that in fact, we're borrowing money to sustain even those kind of systems. So,
Right.
all right, so
here's the deal on that.
okay,
We make all the oil-producing countries sell their oil in dollars, and since we got dollars, we can print as much as we want. So it doesn't cost us a lot for oil, but it costs everybody else a whole lot. And the more we print money, the less value it retains. So it'll come to the point where you can no longer, it doesn't have value anymore. Then
which is like Mexico, right, with the peso.
I guess.
It's like
yeah.
worth nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not an expert, but I know how it works in general.
Okay, so what does that mean to us? What
It
does that
means
mean
that we're all going to get poor when we have to pay more for energy. We're all going to have to take, some people in Aftershock, and I forget the names of the authors, they say we're going to go into a 30-year recession.
Worse than what we're in now, because we're in a double dip recession.
Yes, 30-year depression, worse than the Great Depression.
Oh.
And unfortunately, more people live in the city now without food, and you can't eat concrete.
You cannot eat concrete.
And this is one reason why I chose to become an organic farmer, to relearn these skills and pass it back to our people and to try to
okay, so this is also why you need a platform and you need to share and need to...
Absolutely.
So is it also part of your vision, and this is as we're winding down, okay, is it also part of your vision to have proteges, mentees, to have apprentices, to have people that you take up under, to this, like, just young people in general, to turn them on to the idea of doing what you do, living a double life, living a little bit in the city, but also having some stake out with some land.
I do have one protege, Qaid Hassan.
Okay.
And he's a procurer of halal meat. And he's in the industry to grow fresh, local food, meats, and distribute it locally.
Okay.
And as I work in this project to help people step up their game from being hobby farmers and gardeners to being market farmers, I'm having a chance to mentor young people.
Well, I am so delighted, Kamal, that I had this time with you. I definitely learned a lot. This is probably one of the most dense interviews I've held, just because of the nature of the discussion about fuel and food and energy and life and really just getting back to the earth. You're talking about the difference between being able to live and really have quality life, as opposed to sort of live and be sick and die out, because really that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
I look at us
and it's
and
not
we're
just,
very, very sick.
Yeah, we're very sick. And all, a lot of people are hurting.
Yeah, they are. Well, you've been listening to Beyond the Surface Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer, and I'm sitting here with Kamal Rashid, who is, initially I told you guys that he does photography over at Chicken and Waffles in Oak Park, so you can always come and take a beautiful, beautiful picture. I have one that I have hanging in my living room that he took of my husband and I. But also, you should be inspired to find out more about organic farming and what you can do, how you can contribute. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach me via email at rashid@pembrokefarmingfamily.org.
That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful.
Okay.
I got a better one. You can reach me on Facebook at Kamal K. Rashid.
That's even better.
Plus Chicago.
Kamal K. Rashid.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could email me at kamalrashid19@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, we don't have any excuses. I'm a firm believer that when you know better, you should do better. And I guess we should at least start with asking questions, trying to eat a little bit better. And
also, I am an organic farmer, but I'm organized as an LLC.
Okay.
And I'm inviting people to own a piece of my farm.
Are you?
Yes, so please call me. You can call me at 815-549-7332 and ask me about how you can own a piece of Zanjabil Gardens.
How you can own a piece of Zanjabil Gardens.
Yeah, that's a farm,
okay.
And you don't have to be a farmer.
Okay.
And you'll be you'll get some of the privileges.
I'd be interested if I can hold a raw food retreat out there. What is your number again?
815-549-7332.
And that's Kamal Rashid. And again, this is Beyond the Surface Radio. And until we chat again, you be blessed under God's grace.